na ne fe no ama yakwanya ne abehie mu nwumre gidi se na otwi de mo hie program na se no nyankopom na mpanimfo so ama yesua ne ma bebre na de bia da yesua eti no de mesre ne se mama ye nye hu se ahimfie nkwara musa ahimfie nkwara yensuro ohene yensuro nana ene yensuro nana akonwa yate ahimfie ho yate ahu anti no ase yetikine for granted na wo mra abontenso fo suro nana ni ahimfie no ahimfie nkwara de ase yetikine saa na tore bia na ye yate nsem no saa so no ase yemfa nya dwuma because nka ye de ne ti nyina ye dwuma nka kwanhwefo ese nka ye the healthiest people in society. And so unfortunately, any society, problems as society work as far as health is concerned, the same problems na yensu ye nyina ye wo. Inti ansa na mecha sia na mempa ebone ma desrede ne se. Sa wo ha na wutie mi a. Enwumre yo bebo mpa ye no asre nyame sa wo mmoa wo. Na ya wa adwini pi se bibi a wo betin ne no, wo be hyase e dia ye adwuma. Now, oh yes, sir, you will never be disappointed. And you know, Miss Resident Penny for me quina met me I share me screen.
Doctor, you can share.
Okay, yo, me that's it. I seem to me share because we'll be share and to them say, oh, Kwame, you're there. Open Kwame, you're there.
Yes. I got that. You share with people.
Okay. I feel them say, aye.
Okay.
All right. All right. Yede nyamia sesa na medi kan kan na adesua ye besua yi. Wo hwe title na mato din say proteins. The good, the bad, the ugly. Them say you can health presentations, ne health lectures, no many idea. Yeah, na yeta esua you can high blood pressure ho asem kire, ka diabetes ho asem kire, cholesterol, and arthritis, and disease.
Finding my light.
Na sa disease model of health no no emmoa ewiase emmoa ye if you say
For all
this year disease no specific but ukasa ka wellness pa health pa no enye disease no na emum prevention eye niam bi a obetimi aya emma disease no kra emma enno ena ye beka bi ho asem na ansa na ye bewie sa presentation no be hu se ya re bebre higher no ni solution ewo anasa ne course ewo sa presentation ni mu na ni solution nso ye be hu na ye de abobra na aboy inti proteins, the good, the bad, the ugly. I say the entire yes presentation we in say that presentation we have got original one no pa na me prepare I check. By 2010, that's 14 years ago na me prepare we e wo mo na me update ni kakran krasa. 2010 and I'm here the first time I'm here we. The entire says ni pa bebreba hospital and also back clinic now who tries to be son on the knowledge about nutrition. In fact, and yet lay people who are even healthcare professionals grab it brave no. Ya junior and say protein no ya idea ba could be. Into be so what is protein now? Obama definition, a definition of the amount idea ba ko pe bi na ye fi say ye protein and secondly no so no ya adwene ye say society na brainwash ye nyina ama ya adwene ye say protein ye hia ne bebre say di protein bebre enti and am yes our presentation if you say sa understanding no and say adwene say protein ya idea ba ko pe bi and after so ye hia ne bebre no and the area bebre aba yare bebre aba and Anna, yes, yeah.
Dr. Mpachel, Miss Remo obi ye Samsung. But more than so be mute to if you say ye tie Dr. Newo, ye huni ayemfa. Thank you. Dr. Mpachel to aso.
Yo. No. Yare bebre sisia ye wo ho sisia this 2024 yi ene yare a ha ye ne bebre no ye betimi aka se kase no efri sa unfortunate misunderstanding about what proteins are and how much protein we need. Enti na ye besua sa adesua we. Enti die dikan mo se metudin se proteins, the good, the bad, the ugly. Now, in question, then they say, protein crown any day. That is the first question. Protein any day. Protein, the good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah, a protein. Dear, any protein. And a dear a protein. Sana yebeshen. Into my chimney and supper into the kind, mommy and near ma a year protein. Na ansa na ye behwe de ye protein ye be bi se ho se protein no kra ene di ade se ye ka se enuane nuro ana se nutrients a se ye didi se ye be se de be ye be nya enuane nuro na aboa ye na nya hwe ye nipadua no so na ye nipadua no atimi enya hoden enti enuane nuro no ya chemu mienu ye wo de ye friend macronutrients je se ye ka se macro a na che se niema bi a eso akese na macronutrients no any carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And you have micronutrients and only vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals. In nutrients, no macro and micro. In the protein, no, one of the macronutrients. And I say you know no ebino. Now protein I say protein na enya ade kese ba ko pe uniform. Nemum building blocks be your friend say amino acids a whole row 20 different building blocks and you didn't mini protein and at say we be si dan Chrome has say the way be a huni yes ako ye Chrome Ghana ye si dan ya the bricks and answer blocks and ye si dan in this obi be si dan blocks no ohihia ya two blocks na ye si dan Inti sa blocks na yedi ehhehye edisi protein na no your friend say amino acid. Inti amino acids no sa 20 pe ena yedi form proteins. Inti proteins no na ene ho mfaso ne say. Protein no mfaso ne say ye nipadua yi sa uchiche ye nipadua no mu keten the smallest bit na wo mu your friend cell. Cells no na kika bo mu a be nipadua. And in the same way as say amino acids are blocks they building protein no. So na cells so are building blocks they building the human organism and that's the human body. Now so cells no structure na wo ho ana say the ebo no ho ban no protein. And the protein the structure of the human cells in all these 10 trillion cells nipadua na building nipadua no protein the structure na kikabo mu abaye enti protein ho hia pa. Secondly, proteins near the form hormones nyina whether estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, hormone bi a obetima adwene ho bia no proteins are part of the building material, the building hormones. Enzymes so your enzymes ahoro bebre we nipadua ma yadwuma bebre na ba bia enzymes di akotene kese pa your digestive system Efiri ye num ekwa ye yefunu mu kɔ ye nsuno mu eno no eboa ma aduane ididi a etimi ayam aduane no ema no eyeyie eno nso proteins ewo afa ye trinwi protein eka ho ena ye de build ye trinwi ye boyre eno nso sa ye muscles ye skin ye moja enompe chise bibia we ni pedua mu bia proteins wo even dompe kra anka bone kra anka bibi say ye bibi ye dry and I say your boy kra if you say ye bibi this plastic bi kra still need na protein different forms of protein and to say that kind of year protein e ho hia pa from head to toe and outside and inside there be our protein ho hia na say enam say protein ho hia say intina akoba se yedwene se enam santi yehia no moroso ena enipa no bi no church say we need protein bebre ya ema ye di protein bebre ya e de ohaw ebre afa ye ko yanim no so la ye wo the good no so and ye baby say any protein say ye hu protein dia eye ene ye hu ade a build protein ene ye hu de protein etimi ye wo de pedua no ene ye hin pa na ye nya protein free on se vitiase no me introduction na me kan say de ntia me prepare sa lecture yi ne say enipa bebre adwene ye say protein ya de ba kope ebesi nne so obi ba clinic na so obi ba bana or failing intake forms na your lifestyle portion be your intake form na the whole lecture the type of medicine I'm practicing no you take everything into consideration aduane a wodi nsu a wonnom anasa wonnom sa wonnom coffee na wonnom tea and na dodo a woda a lot of information into your section be a lifestyle section a specifically for aduane most of the time we won't say nipa no ubi sana say aduane na udi aduane be na udi for breakfast for lunch and dinner specific food items are dear enipa ta atwere say lunch I eat salad and protein and as a dinner I eat a piece of potatoes and a protein santi afi you be say protein here there I was chicken or steak. And in the minds of everybody, protein is the same thing as meat. Ya say protein and nam the crop. Unfortunately, no, and no cream. And nuntina made a question where you say, what are the sources of protein? Protein no cry and a free. Oh, it's a question no maybe some plural sources. Mashada. Na you do answer no a ye call your name back the next slide you don't be your home. The edika say plants and as enobai any microorganisms and more getting kitty beer yen timin for your name just so here microscope and sana we and synthesize all the amino acids are here to build proteins. It is our building blocks now me can once them say you here and sana they are building proteins no. Your friend amino acids. And he in a free buy, a free plants, and no buy any microorganisms. Omuna a prepare, a build this micro amino acids. In this amino acids, in the moment I say I get 20. Proteins, we are seeing hundreds of thousands or millions of proteins. And so now just 20 amino acids. And no nasi chene saying. Nasi chene say. O share dictionary, alpha dictionary say. Dictionary the biggest dictionary you can think of. Now all the words in the dictionary. It could give you millions of words. Now, some millions of words in they are made from just 26 letters, and that's 26 alphabets. A to Z. And this are A to Z, and that's A to Z, no. And no matter the formal words, we are seeing letters like love letters, hate letters, constitution, law, medical books, bibia writing biano, and as a written text biano, yes, alphabets ya A to Z ya na pe, ena ya de formulas, ena proteins, any amino acids, and so tie. And it is 20 amino acids, ena nyankopon create say nipaduano ma e factory bi o hɔ a etimi create bi a friend protein synthesis etimi keka sa amino acids ni sisi ani sa to say the main form word me the I the hɔ na me the n ato aso na me the t ato aso na me the o ato aso me say into and as a the me say there sa pepe depending on which word I am trying to write and as to form no and no na be kyerɛ how many letters in the same way, depending on what type of protein and nipeduano epese or creatine, and no na how many amino acids are essential or kikambon. Matume bo ase we si time kakra wa ha say e kyerɛkyerɛ mu yie fi say so what we ase a wobɛhu say ensɛm a yɛate ni bebrifa protein ho no unfortunately no fallacious and I say enya no kura bi ani. The to so bi ayeye enipa ane ammoa yebetimi asynthesize some amino acids ye nipadua no betimi asynthesize and ase betimi produce emu 12 8 pe ana yentimi enye de unsynthesized yentimi produce wo nipadua no eno no kwa be na fa so produce no enuane a ye di enuane ahoro a ye di ni nyina no ehɔ no mo na nipadua no eye maduane no a na wa convert no into different amino acids enti yankasa no ye betimi a produce so amino acids no ewo mra ye ndi sa amino acids no mbamjo minim sa enti ase adwuma wa ha eti se de midi kwadu nanso kwadu no eyam kɔ nipadua mu a nipadua no etimi fa kwadu no na wadane no apple ewo mi nipadua mu because ohia kwadu at this time ohia apple sa pepepe edi ebetimi adi nuane bi sa 18 amino acids 12 amino acids no kra ebi nim enso nipadua no betimi synthesize no betimi convert we no ade abe we no ade we abe we no ade we abe we at the end of the day no we produce 12 of the 20 amino acids but 8 of those amino acids ne die yentimi synthesize nipa ne mwa yina yentimi synthesize eno no ye frɛ no essential amino acids eno no de gise yenya free aduane ni enti aduane a wodi no as I say aduane no was specific those specific amino acids na yes are 8 essential amino acids na sa we eno na ama create a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of confusion say enipa bi free say amino acids be on my essential enipa yentimi produce enunti no proteins na ebi are more important than others ye besa abaso bi na ya treat more. Number 3 emmoa kese to say osono anantwie, giraffes, buffaloes, bison, emmoa kese you can think of enyina no omunya omu proteins free plants and buy I guess someone who be a discussion no echo. Number 1, all the amino acids now necessary for the production of proteins are synthesized by plants and microorganisms. All of them, no exception, including 89 nipa yentimi produce plants to me produce. Number 2, nipa just 8 of the amino acids in the produce. Number 3, and very very important point. Akesiye nyina no proteins omunya free plants. Nditore bi aya na yetese obi ka say the person may build muscle. They call gym, the person may building weightlifting, they building muscle. Enti no as a same konya me protein free and namu because it said and yes I mean to me build it protein. And a lot of gym owners a lot of personal trainers be so etungo for sa so we person building a lot of big muscle so we nam bebre no kra bia enim if we say kasane tia anka mmoa bi te sɛ ɔsono ne nantwie ne giraffes ne buffaloes a wɔn yɛ big muscle animals no anka wɔn nyɛ saa even though our plants nko ara ɛna wɔn di nti wei yɛ very very important point afei yɛn to aso all right ɛnneɛ sese yɛn ho baabi a protein efiri wɔn sɛ me question no mibisa no meyɛnsa nkɔ back me say what are the sources of proteins ɛna yɛ answer sɛ ɛyɛ plants and microorganisms ɛna afei mibisa sɛ ɛnneɛ yɛn ho yi no what is the best source or what are the best sources of proteins masa bisa the plural bi what are the best sources mohwɛ answer me de maaye plants and no by nyinaa no are the best me answer na me say source of protein me share that I'm using the deliberate because o can hear pa no a there is only one good source of protein and that is plants a hundred protein free and until na yeka ho asem all right afei the good no afei the bad yɛnhwɛ deɛ na ɛnyɛ ɛfa proteins ho na the bad no yɛbɛdi kan ahwɛ biribi a yɛfrɛ no sɛ the myths about proteins anansesɛm ahorow a yɛto ɛfa protein ho anansesɛm a ɛdi kan a yɛka no ɛne sɛ ɛne anansesɛm a ɛdi kan wɔn sɛ number one wɔn sɛ plant proteins are incomplete proteins wɔn sɛ proteins a yɛ plant proteins no ɛnyɛ complete na deɛ nti na wɔn kasa na wonim sɛ ɛyɛ awerɛhosɛm sɛ sɛdeɛ na meka ne fiti aseɛ no there are a lot of health professionals nurses doctors pharmacists nutritionists PAs nurse nipa bebree a wɔn ɛda so teach saa fallacy yi anaasɛ saa myth yi sɛ plant proteins yɛ incomplete proteins even though there are tons and tons and tons of research ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ anansesɛm na deɛ nti na wɔn kasa mama mi nkyerɛkyerɛ mu kakra wɔ ha na yɛkɔ yɛ anim a nkyerɛmu no half bɛsa bɛka ho deɛ di kan deɛ nti a wɔn kasa plant proteins yɛ incomplete ne sɛ mobɛka yɛ a amino acids na yɛde build proteins na yɛsɛ ɛyɛ 20 amino acids all the amino acids in the world ne nyinaa ɛyɛ 20 pɛ but not every protein contains all the 20 amino acids. Nti sɛ asekyerɛ paa ne sɛ menkyerɛkyerɛ mu wohwɛ bricks a yɛde si dan a sɛ obi pɛ sɛ osi Ghana deɛ yɛfrɛ no one bedroom self-contained yi a nkɔfo sisi de renti wobɛhu sɛ wasi dan na ɛyɛ living room bathroom kitchen toilet and bath living room kitchen and toilet and bedroom first no yɛfrɛ no chamber and hall no say the omo the kitchen toilet and bath aka ho and omo frɛ no one bedroom self-contained and no obi betime sie dan so asie asase so osi a ɛyɛ complete house because bibi a ohia bia or the bedroom or the living room or the kitchen or the toilet and bath and maybe on a small porch bi or nti to that person no this is my complete house and obi nso betime afa the same bricks na bi na ɔde yɛsi 2 bedrooms living room kitchen toilet and bath the difference between the OC 1 bedroom no and the OC 2 bedrooms no is say the OC 2 bedrooms no use more bricks than the OC we use 2,000 bricks the next one no use 5,000 bricks but there is no way say ubetimi aka kyerɛ me say the OC 1 bedroom no the house no is incomplete. Very good,
yes.
At the same year, Obi akosi abrosan. No abrosan no person see 5 bedroom house, abrosan kesiye. That is his need or her need, or no requirement, no. Into only need, and determine the type of house I see. The fact is that only need require 5 bedroom story building, no. Now, maybe need require say me see that itia 2 bedrooms. No, it doesn't mean say me house ni a incomplete house. Now the only dan ya brosan na complete. This is the unfortunately this argument and omo about plant because so offer plant be a over plant our protein bebre our plant but you may not get all the 20 amino acids in any specific plant. Pamcho say obi
I can see who is talking. Enti misro ye kom ansa na mabodin.
But we be trying to be ansa na why na. We be trying to search we be trying to be because this obi abamo kasaba.
So mini access. The obia every other person should mute. Dr. Mpacho Tuasu.
Okay, yo, that's it. Into this first myth, yeah, I must spend a little time or how say plant proteins are incomplete proteins. It is because say the what they are looking for, they say me fat plant to be to say be my fat broccoli. I am expecting to find all the 20 amino acids in one plant. And because I don't find it, they conclude say plant proteins are incomplete. In the same myth, no, as I said, I had a free. It is said here, macro the word bad here, B-A-D, bad. Just 3-letter word. Now, obi so atro another word, it is a protein. Proteins, proteins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now what catch them say, and I'm say wait 8 letters near the actual proteins in now we bad just 3 letters in bad is not a complete word, but proteins is a complete word. And this is where the myth came from. Myth number 2. When we say plant proteins are not as good as animal proteins. And also the reason why Omokasano is because of this first one. If you say almost it's a baby and you're complete, I say you're not just a at the papa. And also say yati as no. Number 3, plant proteins must be combined to achieve complete value. Oh, the mindset no say yeah, try see you all the 20 amino acids. And yeah, nutritionists, healthcare professionals, be no so say. As I say, combine proteins, ni be plant proteins, ni be breansa when you complete value. And also no nucrebia and shedding. All you need in say you have to make sure say where DNA udino and you're completely balanced in terms of the nutrients. And I can no macronutrients, protein, carbohydrates, fats, and the micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients. Who did as I say, we're making sure say you have all of those. Now, if you do the body will do the rest. Or better, because already we can synthesize 12 of those. And the 8 amino acids na kano. You don't have to go through the trouble to trying to the only time a problem mama say if only you are eating just one article of food. Why about him say well maybe spinach and kwan and maybe mini bibia and ho and I say be a maybe a bro kwan and maybe mini bibia and ho but say udi a bro any beans crack carbon between those two you get all the 20 amino acids. It's unbelievable. So the Yankopon ebo ade enti no sa nhihye we no enya no kre se chinchina esa wo sheda kika boom. All you need in this is udi a healthy balanced diet and the body will do the rest. Number 4, almost plant proteins are poorly digested. And also if we the fact is say plant protein and also the plants are fiber woman. Anybody be brave adwene you almost a fiber no and untimi and digest plant protein. But no cray woman is a plant protein no easier to digest than animal protein. Easier to digest than animal protein. And then number 5, almost plant proteins alone are not sufficient for health. These are the 5 myths. 1, because almost any complete in 2, almost any good. say animal protein because animal protein no mommy yankai say animals no omo no afa plant proteins no any the plants then all the amino acids no from the plants and then the machinery na woni pedua no no synthesize proteins no e woni pedua mean say wo fa ni pedua and as a flesh of a human being or an animal definitely no it has all the 20 amino acids not because it say original but because it is second hand of the original source no plants no and all the produce it doesn't make animal protein better than plant protein. All right. And so because a plant protein is good for health, now no crabia in science are disproven that but as a idea aka yentimi enya intino moda so echrechresta. The bad yakoso ye afi sa ehin ena sa ananse same way these myths where did they start from? Ehin na chance free. In 1914, two scientists here from Osborn and Mendel. Now, when you say Osborn and Mendel, omo fi Connecticut, me from Hami. We in fact mako omo or me research that me who ya mako omo office me back Connecticut has say 2017 me call omo building now omo ya me ko try na picture na. Me share picture no me hu so me nya time say nka maka ko twa picture for dia be kire no building kitwa bi omo yes research ni free omo ewo Connecticut Agricultural Research Center ewo town bi wo Connecticut high for ho Windsor e ho na omo wo na 1914 no omo study proteins na dia na omo study ni say on say wo share me picture ya me de akura bi ato akiri na omo share rats rats, laboratory rats, research. And almost the protein requirements. And I say protein, do was say, and I say protein being in Kurano, here, a bebo amo metina develop, many. In their research, and what they did, and they say, the Nanchian fusio, and I say cow milk protein. You find the casein in the form of milk powder, milk solids. And after is the plant protein. In the form of soybean protein. And omodema rats. And the omodema no, and in their research, no one who say, oh, say the plant protein in my rats here in Korea. They don't grow well. Nemo ya say the nantwie no fusio and animal protein in my omodia. And no boa mumutimi. And based on this singular research, na mediato ha no betimi akohwe no so follow the original researcher. Journal of Biological Chemistry any and publish it. And then they concluded say proteins, the best form of protein animal protein because plant protein is not good. So we and no na edidi all those myths na you can't watch them no buy. And afei yehwe na yan dispel some myth ye di kan akekam ebi kakra na afei yemfa we into aso. The biggest mistake and they say yes, I am no crazy. Your rats are biological experiments in medicine, any health. But and maybe your hormone are different. One, you're rats. And a rats, growth requirements are different from any growth requirement. The here are different. Number two, rat emami ekura emami enufusio no. And what 10 times more protein than human milk. In the ekura, here a lot of protein. And tine mami nufusio no milk no protein dodo e woman enipa de no mo do 10 times more. Nti definitely is how the plant protein manual enya dia obetimi ade develop yi. Number 3, in Kurano rats no use for that specific research no. It take 4 days to double their birth weight. It is a kura emame wo a kura to honor 4 days na the weight no na double. And nipa ban so say wo to ha and na 6 months and so now birth weight na double you will now 7 pounds this is 6 months echi and so now be 14 pounds ekura so the 4 days pepepe now double ni weight enti ekura edi 1 day was asisi a enti say enipa edi 35 days and as ekura edi bosome baako was asisi a enti say enipa edi 3 years enti wo hwe saa de ma we a my requirements no completely different. Eti untimi mfa saa particular way no and extrapolate na mfa conclude say enam saa anti no animal protein and enipa ehia na plant protein enye because rats no edi enipa de no difference ewu afa ya hear the good ya hear the bad to say you hear the ugly the good no say mokai say protein a macronutrient protein every plants mo na amino acids na your building blocks of protein and a protein you here for making of hair skin cell structure blood any bone structures away any from head to toe in the protein and you who say a protein no so every plants mo na all plants all the amino acids in plants etimi make it and na you who so say the best form of protein every plants. And I heard the myths, almost say plant protein and complete because it need all the 20 amino acids. And I just hear say amino acids, you don't have to have all of them in one protein to make it complete. They say the worse and a dying example. They say I feel the ugly. World Health Organization see any pay here 5% of our daily calories per any here as protein. Just that 5%. And a nipa and men and here 54 grams of protein a day, just 54. That's all we need. And a man should have 48 grams of protein a day. That's all. That is all I hear. Healthy amount of protein to survive, to do well, to thrive. And so they see nipa did more than 100 grams because ya junior say protein ne adia ye here na kese. Nasa ugly, you know, I didn't know ye protein bebre sa. Yahu di enti a fee say animal protein and I say nipa friend say enam meat no ye fee say no na the best protein ye Osborne and Mendel research no say ye answer why say ye di bebre sa. And also the answer no say in the 1800s no nutritional scientists in Europe na omo try say omo be quantify how much protein inipa here. Sa we na yekoye chi a World Health Organization at the year 54 grams and 48 grams you know. Based on real scientific research. Your calorimetric evidence say yetimi the aduane no collab etimi ko burning ehun dudu a ewom eti your machines your technology ya yetimi determine how much protein we need. But in the 1800s, no nutritional scientists try the same thing. No, they didn't have the technology we have today. And what they did, they say, friends, observational studies. Nipa, jumadin pa, observe and they landed on coal miners. So coal miners, jumadin, wala sa ye to coal. And estimate, just guesstimation. They guessed. And then they estimated, say, you share in go fee on to call ya. Bear 120 grams of protein a day. In that estimate, no, and now almost as yes, Europe. And now when the Europeans came to the US, they brought it to the US. And as usual, when America sneezes, the world catches a cold. And America, this idea we acquire, as I say, the whole world, if you say, as I say, you need a lot of protein. Unfortunately, you know, yes, our World Health Organization said we need less. And I feel the ugly. And your protein, you know, me say the good, the bad, the ugly. DNT and a protein, baby, especially a protein. Make a protein. Now you're talking high protein. I'm talking about high animal protein. And the effects and anything Sa brainwash here, they brainwash here, ama ya we nam bebre because if you say e ho na ye benya protein free, and if you say you hear more protein so no, e dia na ye nipadua. E dia na e de or how be na de brain, de kan high cholesterol. High cholesterol na e cause be brain ni nyina free high consumption of meat and animal products because even though ubetimi awe nam abeka say a very very lean meat no most of the cholesterol do kra no ya na eni srade no mu within the tissues of the meat within the tissues and even the leanest meat has saturated fat and cholesterol within. That's the first thing. And after you a creatine compound be a homocysteine. As a chemical here homocysteine one of the near chemicals are related to heart disease. Heart disease. In the high homocysteine are linked to heart disease, linked to atherosclerosis, linked to heart attacks, and linked to stroke. Indeed, that's the first thing. Number 2, premature sexual maturity in girls. Tete hono na emma konfichiri na so omunya omu first period na around 16 years. Indeed, na ya say bragro na 16. Kromo has say over here, you see maybe the sweet 16. Sweet 16, how did it come about? It came about because that was the period na emma e konfichiri. Oko Spanish munswa. Spanish for no Latin America, mo friend quinceañera. Quinceañera no chere say we 15 years. And the reason for that was because na emma konfichiri 15 years. That is how it used to be. Say 9 years, 8 years, 10 years, na emma shasi enya konfichiri. Why? One of the reasons, that high consumption of animal protein, cause changes in our metabolism, affected the hormonal makeup and the hormonal function of women. And to say premature sexual maturity, the cause, a high animal protein consumption. Number 3, decreased physical endurance. And then nipa by any endurance cry. Now, one of the leading reasons, a high animal protein consumption. You don't have to look too far. In nature, you will see, say, and more now, omu very aggressive, but omu lucky stamina. Jata say, so shas say o chase antelope bi anasa o twen na say wa man na antelope no hu no mu shas say omu tumrika. Antelope no betimi akwa mo say nche na jata na bre na o me we are running out of steam because we need stamina. All the meat and flesh-eating animals in the same way, a nipa we nam bebre ni na no omu ni stamina, omu enduring capacity na low. Number 4, heart disease. I know the yanka. Heart disease and the number 1 killer, the leading killer of men and women in the world. Now, one of the reasons is because we eat a lot of animal protein. The animal protein also the leading cause of heart disease. Diabetes is the same thing. And also anything animal protein cause toxicity of poison cells cells a poison will be your friend is intramyocellular lipotoxicity. Animal protein, animal fats, and saturated fats combine a poison cells cause inflammation. Now inflammation cause be a friend is insulin resistance. Now insulin resistance not lead to prediabetes. Now prediabetes not lead to diabetes. High animal protein consumption. Cancer, a lot of cancers are linked with animal protein consumption. And I'm saying yeah, really be brave, and also Tina say cancers and also air also kidney stones, kidney failure. High animal protein consumption is one of the leading causes of kidney failure, chronic kidney disease, because animal protein cause BB friend say hyperfiltration. Ubonus affect my kidney ni adwuma sone so ding afei so no animal protein is very very high in sulfur and also high sulfur load high sulfuric acid load ɛwɔ nipadua no ɛna the nipadua no nso no sɛ acid no dɔɔso saa ontimi and deal with it nti ɛsɛ ɔdwodwo ano nti in an attempt to neutralize that heavy acid load no from meat no it produces ammonia a buffer for acid, sulfuric acid, and then the ammonia no toxic to the kidneys because the ammonia has to be filtered through the kidney. Until the more ammonia you produce, the more toxicity you expose your kidney to, and no one of the leading causes of kidney failure. And now your chrome Ghana says here, in addition to chemicals, a bit near cause kidney failure. No, the leading cause of kidney failure of Ghana nam. Because yenye sika nti say obi nipa ba ko fortena se na odidi a ayo wakakaka be say na esinanim enam eguso be 50 kosua ka ho aponchi ka ho kotodwe ka ho fish ka ho enwa na nipa ba ko for no ori because why ye unfortunately no na cause a lot of the kidney problems. Osteoporosis the same thing. Osteoporosis no high animal meat proteins no one of the leading causes of osteoporosis. The reason nene say sa acid load na animal protein produce no ehia buffer into the first buffer no calcium carbonate and no the best buffer nipadua no wo or they immediately no or they bejojo ano enti no calcium a nka ubenya fi waduani mu a esese nka ode ko build bone no the body diverts that calcium just to go and neutralize all the acid now when you're free meat. No? And therefore, the more animal protein you eat, the less calcium you have for bone building. And over the years, your bones become weak and then you get osteoporosis. Gout, and also the same thing. Animal protein, in the digest, now they produce chemicals, their friends say purines. That purines, and no, not accorded that we na afe akoso gout. Systemic inflammation ahotutuo ne ahohono bebree. We research from the Cleveland Clinic. One of the ways high animal protein also heart disease the leading cause of death. The more animal protein you eat, the more you produce certain bacteria no omo energy protein flesh and fat. Na oma convert nutrients what animal protein, especially the friend choline and L-carnitine. No, I'm converting to a toxic chemical be a friend TMA, trimethylamines. Now, that chemical way a very, very toxic. And the nipediano tries a chemical we are now on the core into the liver. Now liver no aqua convert TMA into TMAO. So the bear will be TMAO no. It goes back into your bloodstream on its way to the kidneys. So your kidneys filter it out. And this is what it does to your body. Chronic kidney disease. Starting, progressing. Atherosclerosis, heart attacks, metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes. And proteins, the uglier, this is what we are talking about. Finally, research, I'll see total meat and processed meat were directly related to the risk of stomach, colon, rectum, pancreas, lung, breast, prostate, testes, kidney, bladder, and leukemia. All these are cancers, sir. And now, of course. So, in protein, the good, the bad, the uglier. Basically, what we are saying in NSA, animal protein consumption, no, as I say, and they said we are consuming too much animal protein. So we are Okinawa longevity diet. Okinawa, Japan, one of the blue zones, a horn many pet me titi horn say Oma say no time and now ASR research win. Now etimi live to 100 years. Now show me the 70% is sweet potatoes, which is carbohydrates. We are 12%. Rice, carbohydrates, 7% grains and wheat, carbohydrates, swang, soy, and other legumes. It is only coming in our boma now. Animal protein consumption, 1% fish, 1% dairy, 1% eggs, 1% pork and meat. That's 4%. And the only protein, 4% per any free animals. And you by right has you say, a diet, yes, centenarian, centenary, the diet, live to 100 years. 96% are plants. Just 4% pay the free and woman. Oh, and now over the left side here, every complete say overall 85% are carbohydrates, only 9% per protein, and the protein also 4% of that are animals, and the remaining 5% are plant protein. And this was the secret of their long life. And in yes, protein, the good, the bad, the ugly. And animal protein a betimi ahayen. And the man besi has say, that's a question be your honor. Yadiaba, trust John chapter 13, verse 17. Or say, unim we are, and ye shall and then Saudi Juma. The Intinian Fanya Juma, Nakopo so aboyen, ama yetimi aye. Tore bi na me nipa bebre o se say ya ka kire me say ma wi nam a me yare so me wi nam na me ntimi nya nam wi bebre we. Proverbs 3:5-6 o se fa memfa o se fa wakoma nyina trust in the Lord with all your heart wakoma nyina gi awurade di memfa wo ho nto wa nti ase ni unyansa so unima nyina mu no ginidi na obetnetni wakwan enti no na no before you have questions so team for the first time that's a we a YouTube channel I must start the friend of the Genesis protocols. If you go YouTube now Google Genesis protocols you better a lot of me and say me busy me to quite be intinama me to so but me sabe shemu be be a lot of lectures has say intino obi a wo hwe me bia no hwehwe sa channel yi na subscribe na share ma obi a ehunu na ye besua more ha fi say esese yesua sa nyema yi na ye de adwuma so de be ya nyankopon ma ye betimi aye one of the healthiest people on this planet na nka ya pon modin a ye wonti amanfo aben ye no ma bebi say what is your secret na ya catch ro mo say ye rade nche kire ode ma ye no and ama ye di so a ama ye ho aye din sana enam sa ayo so ama o matimi aka say mo rade nchire na ama ye healthy say dia and what else do you have for us na boy am o ma bete akwanhwefo nkranse ntima no esi medamase meja ha ama moderator na questions bi ho no ma ye dia ba
the mechanic say erade nchira doctor yes, Ebre is answer nipa bi no more questions any contributions. Nipa mucho ye bi kwan ama sa ti wa question no obetimi e de aba.
Yo say abna
choma pedamesa.
Na mpacho bi makasa.
Me question is omo amo gout. Oko hospital na ya print out man say embre kura manini mushroom na eno no a sisi enam na wonwe beans eye ewo nipa organ like kidney beans bibia eye organ ewo nipa mu no ye duane ni se ni wonya gout na odi enti se wonni we nyina na wonni bri no nyina na dia na wosudi ebe ma aboa no medase
yo medase minim exactly the entire almost money in Nisa because as far as minim no ena sene ya na de bia metaka no en some ebre ya na me lectures a meka no ebi ohon ma me kwabontin a me nka ne saa ba me ka ne ha saa because say e busua indi edi nkomo say busua bibia me ntimi nka na outside kra metimi aka na ha and number 2 and some na bebe na me ka no nso no niam me practice me di adwuma o me clinic I see results inti no say bia unti da ubetimi a check you ko Google a just go Google ne Google Pro Natural Wellness Group. Just Google Pro Natural Wellness Group. Me clinic no ni di no. Na hwe Google reviews na nkofo atro. Na mi patients ni review omo patients no eniema omo ba be humi na omo testimonies na wo in the form of reviews. Na ebe kire o said ya na make no enya agro na yedi. Enti de bia meka ni ha bia no eya de a it works media adwuma. Enti de enti America we yedi sister na question anim ne say me wo patients bebre a omo gout. Na omo ba gout no ma no nro bebre probenecid colchicine allopurinol omo no num za nro ni nyina so still enko. Na de me kire omo a ne de me kire yi say animal protein and say we feel diet mu. Enti no obi a wo gout a opesa or reverse gout. Me mane ye vegan as a plant based. Obedi di plant based exclusive ebi o 3 months pepe. Uti plant based na because purines na a lead to the formation of gout no ni ade no. A friend say mostly na every animal protein. And no kwani ade a say uja animal protein, animal fat, cheese, no money, ice cream, ne sa no cow milk. Now we do a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, a lot of grains. The body will clean itself up. Nipediano will kind of also cleaning itself up. Now no monsieur bebre. And no be cleaning itself up. Wow, ma obe say gout no. Afe na because gout no inflammation. Inflammation, but se o sha se o clean nipediano na wo di plant vegetables plants na sa chemicals ne wo na phytochemicals no and no ne be heal sa inflammation. Inti bo say all the inflamed joints ni na be sha se twetwe na ni na be ko, but mushrooms ne vegetables ni beans no de it has nothing to do with the development of gout. In fact, no mom na wo hia to heal. Enti no mi mom de so obi be patient na oba na o gout de me kire na say enam all animal protein and includes eggs and fish. Enti eggs, fish, chicken, beef, aponchi and wa bibia ya boe fi abo mu bia ice cream, cheese, cow milk. Ni nyina obegya idi. Na wa yero ho di a lot of fruits, a lot of unrefined, unprocessed plant food. No one monsieur bebre. Na we sa the body will clean it up. In a few months, we also be free of gout completely. Me a lot of patients will be out my bar. Yamiadum, nenam sawe numa gout no akokra. And that is the advice I will give you. Openi ade, ke ade, mpacha obi timakasa.
Yo, Dr. Medasi, ne unchechemu. Na the me hunu niye, my question is two parts.
Okay.
First one no. Me who say a trebia ye mrantian omota tiki artificial air canteen any cholin. Na no and more ben bit me akata because you say or presentation no at the end of the day no a lead to toxin a call your kidney na high. Number 2 ye wo ma yes o nyama medimanie hu ebi medimanie hu ebi a nipa bi a no mo ye vegetarians, strict vegetarians. But at the point, doctor ekma a jai vegetarianism no among bedina. And also say be see at me akafa. That's
Okay.
I don't say be at Christmas here.
Okay. Inti question no medasipa generally speaking, unfortunately, carnitine na nkofo tanum ewo supplements especially carnitine powder no near you omo tanum carnitine powder carnitine no sports for any bodybuilders no more come by gym near they know yes no carnitine. Most of that L-carnitine now more on animal based L-carnitine. plants me produce carnitine. But interestingly, and this is the thing, interestingly, no, the plant source of carnitine doesn't do the same thing. It doesn't cause those problems. Animal source of carnitine, no. Also, no. To say, we know, sa carnitine, we know, a free and namuno. So, choline, so can home. And a choline, a free eggs, no. Egg yellow, na a choline free. But plants, and so a major source of choline. But plant choline doesn't do that. But egg choline will do that. In the same way, plant carnitine cannot do that, but meat carnitine will do that. And nuntina, say proteins, the good, the bad, the ugly. No? The good, no, say if you're getting your protein amino acid from plants, you're clean. And if you're getting it from animals, unfortunately, it may create other problems. It may not be okay. And this will be no carnitine no. Carnitine no as I said, there was time me prescribe carnitine nibi. There were times be a use no. Sometimes be a hormone or ye chemo, you will chemo be a hormone nipa ne ya. The toxicity no. Carnitine etimi counteract no. I say etimi edwano. And for that brief period no, etimi use no to say you use a draw. After that no wajai. And advice I made man say obi a onom carnitine say onom say ni gym no dey enya advisable. You are better off getting a lot of plant sources of protein, amino acids, and you get the same benefits of obi here carnitine no every month. And that is the first question. And our second question no, so now I will say you Africa.
Oh, okay. Let me say, man, at least nipa mienu no me
vegetarian Dr. Okay. You me that's it. And no so no very very important to say yet if you say nipa ni bebre no vegetarian no o madwene you almost say being a vegetarian means not eating meat or animal products. But a holistic. It is not just about what you don't eat, but more importantly, what you eat. And you know, as I say, you worry about say you're doing a balance. Obi your French fries, any ketchup, and a soda is considered vegetarian because meat be any. Obi your say obi a vegetarian no, obi no anwa it's a Ghana church. Ebi a ma ko Ghana church bia. You see, I vegetarian a mo no mo fita ni anoa. Na yate ayi stew kokoi bi aguso. Na ya de salad ya lettuce ya iceberg lettuce irregular lettuce ya ice fita ni asebi egu ho. Aduane no vegetarian no. So did this obeyare. And nipa ne bebre ho mo me vegetarians they don't know how to eat well. Need enough legumes, beans, lentils, and you need enough nuts, almonds, walnuts, cashews. Need enough seeds, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds. And so we're rich, mix. How did this there's no reason, said Dr. Bekachiro say, the reason why other Dr. Kachiro vegetarians be so unhianam, and they say, yeah, no, so protein level you low, enough protein. Because of the same mindset, say protein comes from meat, no, and but so church any pani ye say, and yeah, meat na we here, name say who say plant sources of protein here, way to go and eat a lot of that and often now. Vegetarian here be any honor obey do stage here. You catch and say on me now. Basically, the bottom line and they say a vegetarian for any vegetarian is no ye because they don't know what to do. And untina yana ekofasa at the end ever. Mpacho penny chumampofo. Mehuza wa mansaso ya mpacho biti makasa.
Yo Dr. Bedasi anyumrepa nyankopon shirao. Now Indiano nya broso. Now watch your DP. Wama yehu protein, the bad, the good, and the ugly. Na animal protein die idea ye mu bi ni e fo se no na e ma ye nya ahoden. Now, cholesterol e wo nipa bebre mu no, em se fa fie no. And I'm say nipa your body nankasa naturally it produce cholesterol. Your bad and the good. Kwan ben so ni ebefa e betimi a limit yen bad cholesterol ni anya good one no. Manu asimi da say.
Yo, amen. No crepa na kan and say cholesterol no. On say cholesterol. Ebi no mo hwe YouTube a lot of videos so honom. Ebi no say cholesterol anya bad thing. Inti no di as much as you need. No cre wo mo na sabi di anya no cre nso wo. Me pese na ka se nkontompo but. No cre wo mo say no cre say cholesterol you here to make hormones. We say that because hormones protein is a part of the you do here proteins, you here cholesterol, now they are produce hormones. Into all the hormones in our body, estrogen, progesterone, all of that, in addition to protein, you need cholesterol also to make them. And now scientists are saying you can rightly see Nyankopon boy you say your liver no your brain boy no one can say to me produce cholesterol. It produce all the cholesterol we need. The cholesterol BBI here to make testosterone, to make estrogen, no, we make it ourselves. We don't need any extra. In the same way, a more also a liver no so produce cholesterol ni be more because a more also here cholesterol no for your hormone production. In this year we more animal protein here you can once here. Then we get their cholesterol in addition to ours. And this bad cholesterol in and hold it free. If we are more no. And to answer your question, no, the first step to reducing your bad cholesterol, unfortunately, a problem which shouldn't be a problem, no, is to cut out the external source of the cholesterol. Cut it out or reduce it completely, reduce it drastically to the barest minimum. And what does that mean? What that means, say, animal protein is the source of external cholesterol, no, right from eggs to fish to chicken to beef to all that, no, and no, so otiso cra otiso. Oh yes, cholesterol, no better say a drop like a brick. Very, very, very easy to deal with. Me, a lot of patients are battle high cholesterol for years. And in a few months, none in room na afi na we giant vagina starting so no kra na fi unya anti. That is how you reduce your bad cholesterol. And the good cholesterol no so no and no we make it a liver no make na ekwaya obefa so we make no say obe nanti bebre onanti na udi plant food any enuane a high in vitamin C no vitamin C any certain phytochemicals binom any polyphenols binom ni adenum and no na stimulate unipadua no e man produce good cholesterol HDL. And that's how you do. I don't know there you have to make it yourself through lifestyle aerobic exercises or konanti abonti anya inside the gym the nibi okwa konanti say oh treadmill na benanti so are okay but the American say okoye obi house you I go to the gym I exercise you maybe say no na you weightlifting no ehun here but you need more of the aerobics and no the bebo more synthesize good cholesterol with us.
Dr. Midasi, nyamishiro.
Yo, doctor, impocho, imperial be say, imperial pure yet today, ebia food allergies na will play a role in the problems that yenya about henezi benzene nazi. Imperial me be so there those food allergies no sidan or ba na have a role no play in problems that yenya when we hear nutrition and benzene how was synthesizing that you know.
Okay. That question ye niyama bebree allergies no ye niyama bebree na the allergies na ebi o no a basically no so obi are allergic to bibia not just say nipadua no nipadua no or empe na enam say nipadua no empe saa de nti no or attack no or attacking or produce antibodies. Antibodies in your your IgE. IgE then produce the classic allergy. Say, obi akwa bibi ana akodi bibi na no ahono ana se ontimi home na no ye classic allergy ye immediate intentem. And no IgE antibodies na yes. Any all ba akwa e na IgG. And no the na Dr. Fonta anka ho asem. And no generally no it leads to a type of allergy a yes sensitivity based allergy. And no enya immediate a chance anaba. Now both of these ways of allergy and access sensitivity no exposure na deba. When you are exposed to BB all fighting no they produce antibodies. Now antibodies no moje na e round na e cause problems. Enti no the first say one ye be hwe aduane a ye di no the source of aduane na ye di no say one e be clean because e be hormone na aduane no you contaminated with bacteria and also you're contaminated with viruses and also you're contaminated with chemicals. Into any of those, whether bacteria, virus, or chemical, so a benny pediano excuse me. Any pediano will try to fight that specific thing, not creating antibodies, and then eventually your body will begin to associate that food with that chemical. Remember a typical example. Your pesticides be a omudi edria kwadu. Inti kwadu bebre ho ma pesticides. And even body cry ya ha ton body omudua na South America de ba han bebre ho no the chemicals ne bia nti obi ho no a. Obo say oh house happy de me di me ba America me di body na me minimum ki kame na asa na me num ki kame. Ana me ho tete me. Ana me di kwadu a and no, what it means is say your body was exposed to when the kwadu anasa body be a chemicals, pesticide was so and you create antibodies against it. But because say the chemicals always came together on the back of the food, Nintino. A bedroom maybe now Nipediana shall associated with the chemical, no create antibodies into or attacking. What you do, Nene say, aduane kro no ubegja idi for a long time. Now many aduane timi clean itself up. After aduane kro no, so uja idi for let's say months and say a year or two. Na say o sa could DBM and then you stay with the organic version of the aduane. Because organic no yemfa pesticides in ya, yemfa chemicals bia emu, yemfa chemical fertilizers in ka bia organic natural. And no yen say the body will get allergy to foods, no not echo. But allergy be to say IgE based allergies now are very serious now. A bit me a nipa no de and no de and so ye. And no sa no ya a quite be why a so a desensitization. I don't know the doctors need desensitization injections be on my over time. And this and we are so avoiding it completely. Enti na yenema bebre na etimi cause food allergies. Ebi ye chemicals, ebi ye pesticides, ebi ye contaminated bacteria and viruses we do ane no. Enti the bottom line is you need it clean. Now you stay away from processed foods because a lot of the processed foods the additives, any chemicals, no many additives, any chemicals and also cause food allergies, any food sensitivity. And you try to eat as clean as possible. Try to get the freshest food, chemical, pesticide-free, and if possible, buy organic. Oh yes, a lot of these allergy problems, we will avoid them.
Wow. Adofonom me gidi se yeka se yebetoa so a yebetena so a made achi fi se asem a eba ni nyina wonderful. Enti no me gidi se yede ya no besi ya doctor Awurade Israel na de ba ko amesre ni se Yesu ma ya wo se opebre ma yen na yetimi ne utimi kyerɛkyerɛ for one young this way nanka yetie ensem ni nyina afi ho enye first time I meet you matie wo baby enu nti na ntempa na me dimrika ba se nke betimi a. But you know what? Nyame onye from so that could create megye di sɛ aboa yɛn adɔfonom nokorɛ yɛ baako pɛ onyame asɛm biara yɛ nokorɛ na it doesn't change ɛsɛ aka me ne mmienu sɛ nea yɛsua yi Awurade mmoa yɛn na yɛntumi mfa nyɛ adwuma menim sɛ yɛbɛto yɛn nsa frɛ obiem na ɛberɛ sɛ mu no Awurade de wobɛbrɛ yɛn na waba abɛhyira yɛn